Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how I degrease my bones. This is an important next step in the bone cleaning process after maceration, which I talked about in my last video if you want to give that a watch. I'm going to show you all of my degreasing jars, what's in them, and the process of how I change the water to continue the degreasing process. So here are some snake vertebrae from a rat snake that I found. With degreasing, you're going to start to see this wispy stuff coming out of the bones, and that's the grease that you're wanting to get out. Necessary Tools calls these bone ghosts, which I really love. It's a pretty accurate description of how it looks almost like the ghost of the bone coming out, and so that way you know that it is getting degreased. This is so nasty. So the degreasing process is the second step, which is what is going to be cleaning the bones to make them safe to wear, which is especially important in jewelry where the bone is going to be up against the skin. We don't want any bacteria or anything left in the bone, so the degreasing process pulls all that fat that is trapped inside the bone. That is what would cause the biological hazard of the bone, which is why throughout this process I always wear gloves. And then once they go through the full degreasing process, then the bone is safe to have against your skin and to touch, and you don't have to wear gloves because all the harmful bacteria has been removed. So now we're going to dump everything out so that way we can change out the water. It's important to always be changing out the water in the degreasing process as the water gets more greasy. Usually 1 to 2 weeks is what I do. These are some pig teeth that I found, and I have found that pigs are the most greasiest animal that I've worked with so far. The jawbone that these teeth were in was so greasy. I didn't even want to bother degreasing it because it was in kind of a rough shape anyways. But I got the teeth out and I think they look really cool. So everything will get a rinse. I'll also rinse out the jar and then I'll put everything back in the jar to refill it. I was so mad. I lost the teeth. When I did this at St. Joe's, I don't know where it went. I looked all I dumped it out and the tooth was gone. Okay, and then I usually rinse this because I reuse them. Okay. These are some squirrel bones. You can kind of see that they're a lot dirtier than some of my other bones, and that's because these I had buried. I've figured out that it's actually better to not bury bones to clean them. It's better to just leave them on top of the soil, or if they're mostly degraded, you could water macerate them. But anyway, so they're pretty stained, but they're not that greasy. Like they've come a long way getting cleaned wise, but they're still just really stained. But anyway, I love the jawbones on these. The skulls are almost complete. They at least still have their teeth in there, which is pretty cool. But the back of the skulls I think must have had some trauma, and so I don't have the back of the skull on these, but I think they're still gonna make a really fun project. These are squirrel bones.
Oh, that one's got a hole in it.
Yeah, it's because it's its hip bone.
Could blow bubbles through it.
Usually these are together in some way. I don't remember how. Remember like the cow skull?
Mm-hmm.
Cow thing? I don't know. What I'm trying to say. Little bitty vertebra pieces.
This is all squirrel?
Yeah. Except for this guy. I don't know. I think he's armadillo. He just got mixed in here for some reason. Because I think I just found him loose in the woods. These are some armadillo bones that I found just out in the woods. I was on a walk and I found them. They're pretty cool. I really like the vertebrae. I like how they've got like wider branching pieces versus like the smaller snake vertebrae. So I think they'll make a really cool necklace once I get them cleaned. Fat. Blech. I'm really showing you can use any container.
Yeah. Some chicken salad. 50% off.
That's not chicken salad.
Look at all that chicken salad. Look at all those chicken salads.
Yeah, like sometimes they just get, but look, this is the armadillo jawbone. Wait, I'm going to show it this way and people, I guess, can tell better. And like cool chunky bits.
This is all armadillo?
Yeah. And that's part of it. So, okay, so I will be able to show you. So it like
makes like little hexagonals.
Yeah, and each one is its own bone segment.
That's pretty
and
cool.
They have to fall apart to get fully degreased, right? And a guy that I follow, he like put them back together.
Oh my
like
god.
In a little section. Yeah, I was like, how?
Bleh. Bleh.
Oh.
How do you know? Oh god. How do you know when they're done?
Uh-oh. LOL, never mind. Okay, so there's all this that needs to not be on there. I'll pull it off. I'm gonna flick it away. But look at that. That's a cool piece.
So how do you know when they're done?
Well, they will start to kind of look a little bit cleaner, but really like ultimately how I have to tell is just by
even if I think they're done, I put them back in a jar to degrease again and just make sure that they don't emit any more grease.
So basically, once the water's clean.
Yeah. I guess that is how you would say that.
And so what is this?
Separate.
This is a squirrel?
This is more armadillo.
Oh, armadillo.
Armadillo and a random chicken bone.
Ah, gotcha.
But I like the bottom piece of those. I think that looks neat. But yeah, more armadillo. This is like more of its like tail. I finally put its tail into degrease. My neck hurts. It like is so much better doing this at like a tall sink. Alright, but see, look, this is more of the tail, and same thing. This is like the tail armor.
So this is editing Brie, and I would just like to point out that we filmed this video in June of 2024, and at that time, I don't know why I didn't realize that all of this connective tissue means that this should have gone into a maceration bucket first. That maceration process, just sitting in water, would have broken all that connective tissue down, and then they should have gone into a jar to degrease. That's because through the maceration you want to get all of the tissues and flesh broke down, so then that way they're totally clean to then begin getting degreased. If they still have a little bit of this flesh on here like this does, the degreasing process just goes so much slower, and it's also slower for that cartilage to get removed, so that's why these took a long time to degrease. I'm not sure why I didn't realize that at the time, but I just wanted to put that little caveat in there. But I mean, hey, I'm still learning. This is just my process, but that's what I should have done. Just wanted to let y'all know. A lot of the pieces you just saw were the tail bones of the armadillo, like the tail armor. So these little pieces are mostly the shell. Again, this was just found by a friend out in the woods, but tiny hexagonal pieces. It's really cool. If you have any ideas of how to use these pieces, please let me know in the comments. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these yet because they're really small for jewelry. But yeah, I'd love to hear your ideas, so let me know.
Yeah.
You keep scaring me with that.
And what is this from?
I think this is either a raccoon or a possum.
I think it's probably a raccoon because it doesn't have that.
Look at those
crown.
eye.
Yeah. It's probably a raccoon because it doesn't have that crown.
Yeah.
It doesn't have enough teeth. Possums have like 50 teeth, I think.
Oh, wow. I get the goop even in the inside. Gotta rinse out all the crevices. This is the one that I think this is the one I just like found at St. Joe's.
Like, you just found the skull or you found a dead raccoon?
I found the skull. Like, I decided I was going to go on my first bone walk ever, and I, like, actually found this and
cool.
those two jawbone pieces.
It's a surprise.
Oh, wait. This might be actually the one that we found. This is the one we found at Lock and Dam.
Cool.
I don't know. So I don't know what the other one's from. I don't even remember. Listen, see, like that. Get that off there, except I can't. It's probably just have to come off on its own. It's a greasy boy. See, it's a rib.
McRib.
And this is a rat snake. This is that rat snake that got tangled up in that person's garden.
Mm.
And then they just killed it. Dastardly fiends.
I didn't know if they killed it.
Or, yeah, I guess it could have just got itself strangled, I guess, but...
But it annoyed me because they didn't even take it out of the thing. They just, like...
That's what made me think that they killed it, because it seemed like it got tangled up in their net, and then they just were, like, freaking out, so they just killed it instead of trying to untangle it, because they probably thought if they tried to get it loose that it would die, or, like, it would try to bite them, and they probably didn't know.
Like, oh my god, like you get
Like,
bit by one, it's
all
like...
snakes are bad. They probably, they'd just probably think that it's a venomous snake without knowing the signs.
Well, they probably thought, like, if they got bit, it was gonna, like, really hurt or something. It's not like... It's just like sandpaper.
Yeah.
And as I have demonstrated multiple times, you can pick these snakes up and they don't really do anything. They just kind of hang out.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hello, human. I'll go for a ride now, I guess. Take me to the rats. Yeah, this is a good bone cleaning jar. We need to get more of these pickles like this.
I think you just want more of those pickles.
Well, but look, it's even got a handle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, I'm buying it. I thought these were like segmented, but I think they actually might be all one piece. Or maybe they're just like totally fused together. I don't know, but because I thought they were gonna break like this.
They might still.
But these are like huge. Evidently, this was a big fish because I followed somebody else who makes fish bone. Like, I've only ever seen one other person use like fish bones for their stuff.
Well, have you seen how big a carp gets? They
And-
get like 40 pounds. I think they can even get bigger than 40 pounds.
Wow. Well, all of her bone pieces are like fairly small. So I'm just like, man, these really that big.
It smells like cat poop.
Cat poop?
Yeah.
Funny.
So, like fermented fish bones smell like cat poop.
So like we said, these are the Asian grass carp bones. We have a mix of their vertebrae and their ribs, and their teeth are really cool. We do have a video of us finding those at Lock and Dam here in Arkansas if you want to see that. So now that I've got all the bones rinsed out of their jars and the jars scrubbed out, they're ready now for the final step. I'm going to add a good amount of Dawn to all of the jars. I like to use platinum Dawn. You really can use any dish soap that you like. This is just what I like to use. And I put about this much in it. I just kind of eyeball it. You want a good amount in there, not too much, not too little. You just kind of eyeball it. Almost all of these bones will be used to make jewelry. I make real bone necklaces and earrings. Here is a look at some of the things that I make. I've put the link to my website in the description box. It's black.cat.taxidermy.com, where you can shop our real bone jewelry collection. So now that they are all done and in fresh Dawn and water, I'm going to keep an eye on them and keep just changing the water as it gets greasy. Like I said earlier, I do it about every 1 to 2 weeks. I'll keep seeing the grease coming out into the water, and I'll keep changing the water until I no longer see that grease coming out, and that way I know that the bones are fully degreased. I'm going to have another video up soon of showing the next step of whitening the bones, as well as videos on entomology, where I find my bones, and continuing to show how I clean my bones. So if you're interested in any of that, please subscribe, and yeah, thanks for watching the video.